No, but I think he did. I think he did Elvis before he did Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because wasn't that 1979?
I think it might have been 75. But
Yeah, it could be.
I believe that Carpenter's first horror movie was Halloween, but I'm not sure if,
Well, we're not talking about Halloween. We're talking about Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
And then he did Escape from New York. I think he did The Thing as well.
I believe so.
Yeah, with John, not essentially John Carpenter, but essentially Kurt Russell in terms with John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And then they did Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, which, depending on who you talk to, it's here one of the...
That's a great movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Of course, it's actually a sort of remake or something of El Diablo.
Yeah. And it's got little sign-ups to Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat came along.
Yes. Although I think that movie kind of didn't get as much recognition because of advertising.
Yeah.
Although the set was used in a lot of movies and music videos.
Yeah. I remember being...
Michael Jackson was poking around it.
Yeah.
I forget. There's one pop artist. I'll have to listen to the commentary again. But I did that. And, I mean, he kept doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
He was in Tombstone.
Yeah.
Breakdown. Breakdown was pretty good. I think so. Executive Decision.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? 007? Because he just came from a dinner, and then he had to go to a meeting, and then he had to go to the airport. He didn't have time to change. And he's in the tux almost the entire film.
Yeah.
It's great. He did Soldier. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that didn't get as much reputation as it did, because that was pretty good.
And
of course, that's just Shane.
Yeah.
But it's Shane and Rambo in space with Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
The only time he's not a complete asshole.
I've never had a problem with Gary Busey.
You really can't.
Again,
he pulls off the sympathetic commander pretty well.
Yeah. But then again, to me, I like Gary Busey. To me, Gary Busey is good at being,
crazy.
Yeah.
He's a more outlandish Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Stargate. We have to talk about Stargate.
Yeah.
Although he's kind of sharing the spotlight with James Spader.
Yeah.
But I always thought he had a bit more of a character-driven drama.
Mm-hmm.
And that character went on for like the 10 seasons of Stargate.
Mm-hmm. Although, who the heck was it that played him in the TV series?
Richard Dean Anderson.
Richard Dean
MacGyver.
Anderson. Yeah, MacGyver. Such a bizarre combination.
We also have to talk Overboard.
Oh God, I love that movie.
Yeah, of course it didn't do well in theaters, but it made its profit back via cable.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cult following.
Yeah, then,
the critics hated it.
What? That's because they took a look at, Kurt Russell.
They felt the characters were too one-dimensional. That's the point. It's meant for comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing like that could ever happen in real life. There's no real places like this. There's nothing like that.
It's a romantic comedy, and,
it works.
Yeah, it's just got a, good freaking story, good...
I wouldn't say story. I'd say good humor about it.
Yeah, okay, maybe not so good on the story. But, it's...
It seems improbable, but possible.
Yeah, it's just goofy enough to work, and,
Yeah. And speaking of steady work, we have to talk about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude, I've been in God knows how many films, man.
About 50.
At least.
About 50. Although a lot of his film, he will not say no to work.
No, he won't.
I've never seen JCVD, but apparently that's like some of the stuff he's actually going through. I think they actually got a critical acclaim. Because it's kind of there's a bit of a truth to it. I'm not going to say what it's about. You have to see for yourself.
Yeah. But let's see now. Van Damme's first big role, wasn't that Bloodsport?
No, actually the first, had more screen time. A lot of screen time. Was a bit like Dolph Lundgren's first role in Rocky. He played the villain in a kickboxer tournament or something, and he just beat the shit out of everyone. That's the thing about Jean-Claude Van Damme. You believe, once you see him move, you believe he can kick your ass.
Yeah.
He's a short guy.
Yeah. And that's the
tall,
thing.
average height.
That's the one thing I will definitely say about pretty much any of these guys that we talk about. Yeah, they may play a certain character or whatever in movies, but overall, no matter how old they get, I still wouldn't screw with any of them.
It's true, even though they're remaking a lot of the films.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a minute. Of course, Van Damme is I think he's done a lot of stuff too. Universal Soldier, Bloodsport.
Yeah. Cyborg, which we just watched tonight.
That was great.
That was a good cheesy movie.
That's the point. Yeah. That's his raw deal, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, God. What else?
Colin Cow. Not entirely sure. Death Warrant, Desert Heat, which is kind of a nod to Yojimbo.
Yeah. Oh, good grief.
Kind of sad that didn't get in the theaters. That was like when he was starting to put things out on direct-to-video.
Yeah. He's pretty much become the king of direct-to-video.
Yeah, I think the last thing he was in that was in theaters was probably Expendables 2.
Yeah.
Of course, he's kind of coming back. I mean, Enemies Closer was in what I saw on DVD at Walmart.
I know that he's one of those guys that when you see him in a film, you recognize him, even if you can't always remember the dang films. In my case,
although a lot of the films do, come back to the other side.
Yeah. Or they do all kind of... I could see in a way where some of his films all kind of mesh together.
A little bit, yeah. It kind of is like that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But some of his movies are really good.
Yeah. But then again, that's how it is with pretty much any actor, Some of the movies are really good, and every so often, along comes a stinker or two. But for the most part.
There is one movie that I kind of praise about it for, I don't even know what I'm kind of talking about anymore.
See, that's what happens, unfortunately. You get into one subject and...
Yeah, now I'm over here.
Rearranging the collection. But Anyway, yeah, I know we've seen. You and I both have seen so many dang action flicks. It's like, okay, crap. Who was it? What?
Everything's kind of intersecting right now.
Yeah. Let's see now. We were discussing Van Damme and the fact that.
What about Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford, whose real big breakout was the original Star Wars trilogy, or at least that first Star Wars
I think
movie.
Indiana Jones really kind of sealed them off more.
Yeah. And then they took both films and combined them when they made the fourth Indiana Jones film.
Oh, we're not talking about that. That movie doesn't even count.
But, yeah, Harrison Ford to me is, if he, to me, the only problem he really has is the fact that, unfortunately, he's run into the same problem that a lot of them have. And that is typecasting. Harrison Ford maybe been in one or two films that were outside of the realm of action, adventure, fantasy,
Blade Runner?
Yeah. Maybe Blade Runner, and that's about it. It seems like he's actually been in more, but...
Yeah.
Okay, I know that before he got majorly big, or wait, this may have been after Star Wars, I'm not 100% certain. I know he was in some Western, but I can't recall the name.
Oh,
He was in some Western with Gene Wilder.
I think I might know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was more of a Western comedy, but it was him and Gene Wilder, and I love the movie, but I can't remember it to save my ass. Anyway. I know that there's talk of him making a cameo in the newest Star Wars film, which, If he does, he does. If he doesn't,
Check the timer here.